Hello, Clarice.
It's alive! It's alive!
We accept one of us.
I kick ass for the Lord.
I want to play a game.
They're here.
It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to the Three Basket Cases podcast. We have special guests Ricky Glore and Eric Hunter on the show today. They're here to talk about their upcoming movie Run. But before we get into that, we are about to release our Nightmare on Elm Street episode, and we had a little debate last episode, and I wanted you guys to weigh in on this.
Hells yes. I love Elm Street.
Okay, so here's our debate. Is Nightmare on Elm Street 2 a top 6 Nightmare on Elm Street movie?
It's number one.
Number one.
Ow. No. Don't, come on. Don't. No.
Did Frank call you before this?
Thank you. It's my favorite of the series.
Two is completely underrated.
Is it your favorite sequel of the series, Eric, or is it your favorite?
I mean, personally, it's my favorite, but I also feel like it's definitely one of the best sequels to an original. Like, I would put it up there with Scream 2 and Friday the 13th Part 2. Like, I think it really Saw 2. Like, I think it really is like, this sequel's pretty damn
Man,
good.
you got me with all those other sequels. I agree with you on all those other ones
Terminator 2,
except for Elm
Back.
Street 2. Yes, where in retrospect I can respect that it was taking a really hard beloved property immediately, like with Wes Craven. It wasn't Wes Craven's first thing he ever did. It was his third venture in the horror genre, and he reinvented himself within the 80s in a way with Dreams and, you know, just the youth in the broken home. And so David Chaskin doing the part 2, it's just like, well, what do you do? It's like, okay, well, you do the Amityville 2. Like, you do the set piece is possessed. You do that it's not the character. That's how you make it Freddy. And yeah, I think part 2, especially now, with everything that has been confirmed about its queerness, is amazing. But like, what's the question? Like, is it in the top 6?
Top 6? It's got to be.
So let me go. Okay, I go 1, 3, 7, which is 1, Dream Warriors, Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
4, yeah.
2.
Between 2, it's 2 and Freddy versus Jason.
Oh,
Okay.
no, you can't count that one.
But it's for different reasons. Like, I quantify my reasons. Yeah, 2 is in definitely my top 6.
Validation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. You could include the remake in that top 6 as well if you needed to.
No,
I
don't think you do, but-
I like the Dream. I like the Dream quadrilogy or whatever it is. Part 5. I like Part 5.
I do too.
Like,
They
I
did
like
not.
the
I like-
gothicness.
Oh, no, I love the kills in part 5.
I know. I mean,
yeah.
the woman in the refrigerator, when her name was Greta, that was amazing.
The unedited version is fantastic. That's another, like, something that we're very fond of, like Eric and I, the VHS culture. Like, having that in our memory of, like, there are certain things that I remember because of how I watched them on VHS.
Right.
Dream Warriors is a really hard one for me to watch the Blu-ray of. Every time I watch it, I'm ready for that that was the replacement of the Dawkins song, Paris is Burning, or no, Into the Fire. That opened. Yes. So they paid for it on the Blu-ray. On the VHS tape that featured the Dawkins music video at the end, opened with this other, like, weird, like, instrumental jazzy thing. That's how I remember the movie. Yeah.
Wayne's World.
Interesting.
Huh?
It's very Stairway to Heaven in Wayne's World.
Oh, yeah.
Like, had no idea. I was like, that's not Stairway to Heaven, because I only watched the movie on VHS and then
Yeah.
watching it on streaming or watching videos on YouTube. And I was like, oh, they actually have that clip of Stairway to Heaven, him playing guitar.
Yes,
And they
when
showed
you
the
saw it
sign that said,
theatrically.
"No Stairway to Heaven."
But what's funny is like that is a thing that you share, and it's that like VHS culture, or it's that like
Oh,
right, like
it works.
so. But like Wayne's World, for me, the joke is funnier the first way I saw it, where it sounded like someone kind of trying to play Stairway to Heaven in like a Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Like it was another level of just like,
different
oh,
kind
this
of a
joke
joke.
is funnier because they didn't pay for it on VHS.
Right.
And we had no idea.
But I know what you mean, though. I have like some of my fondest memories, and is walking into like VHS video stores back in the day. It's like it formed me. It's just I got obsessed with movies, just seeing and I actually my job is I make movie posters. That's what I do, and I do that because when I was a kid, I was so fascinated by walking and seeing all of them. I would just stand there and look at them, and the boxes would just grab me.
I don't think we had, not only did we not appreciate what we had at the time, but we didn't even think of it as being a museum. Exactly the way that you're talking about, like the box art. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's still movies that I haven't seen.
100%.
The box art was so
Yes.
terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And then when I see them now, I was like Dolls is one of those movies where the girl with her
The eyes, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I was just like, not watching that shit. Are you kidding me?
Ain't
Like,
no dog killing me.
Dolls freak me out to begin with, So when that shit pops up on Tubi and they're like, hey, you can watch this for free, like, nah, not me, man, not me.
I think Maniac with the killer, like the head, carrying the disembodied head with the knife that's bloody. By the way, your Rum poster is phenomenal.
Oh, that's Mark Schoenbach, and also
amazing.
It's so good.
So Mark did our first poster for Sweetmeats, which is the pig mask with some. It's our bait and switch. I mean,
that
this
was
is
great too.
But this is a great segue. Is I remember seeing the big boxes. The bigger the boxes meant usually the worse of the movie. But I love that they did exactly what they were supposed to do when I was a kid. I was just like, what the fuck is like? It's got a red light, like Microwave Massacre. I remember being like, that box is amazing. Like, it's big. It's got a red light on it. I was like, that movie, Jackie Vernon. I don't know who that is, but I was like, let's watch. Like, we gotta watch. This is gonna be awesome. And holy shit, what a bait and switch.
Yeah, we just did a Microwave Massacre episode, actually.
Oof. But so I semi-consciously, at a lot of different points during Sweetmeats marketing or campaigning, I leaned into that culture, the VHS culture of being like, all right, we're kind of coded speaking here of like, we're all on the same page. It's that MST3K, Mystery Science Theater, like, not everybody gets all the jokes, and sometimes you got to be like, oh, why was that funny? So with the first Sweetmeats poster with the pig mask, we had some musical notes on the spatula and the knife, and like the tagline, meat, murder, music, delicious. And I was like, okay, you should get what this is because of what we're trying to evoke. And then the next poster, which wasn't Mark, was leaned into the 70s, like South exploitation, like Smokey and the Bandit vibe. But so I asked Mark, I was like, would you be interested in doing this poster? I don't want to tell you what I'm thinking it should be. I want to give you the script, and I want to give you the synopsis. And I want you just to come up with it, whatever you come up with. But my only note is, don't focus on the mask like Sweetmeats, because I just didn't want it to be, because he did have pictures of the mask,
right?
And so he came back with the demo, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, except for a couple minor like nitpicky technical things, the only thing that changed was we were able to give him video and pictures of the actual location where we're going to be filming. That replaced like this generic like haunted house.
Yeah.
Did he illustrate it, or is it a filter on imagery?
It's illustrated.
Yeah, it definitely looks it.
Yeah, it's well, he knows my love of Matthew Peak and the Elm Street posters.
Yeah.
Also, I'm blanking on the artist who did the British quads for Elm Street in England. but Elm Street 4 of the Craven Diner, where it's the big stained glass window from Elm Street 4, and it's the Craven Diner, and it's Freddy's like black silhouette in front of the stained glass. That artist is amazing too. But yeah, Mark illustrated it in like we went to the farm that where we're filming in rural Kentucky, and we looked at the demo that he sent us, and I was just like with the layout of the words, and I was just like, oh my God, he doesn't have any idea, but like we can replace this with how the the film, like the location is going to look in the movie, and the words, it's a perfect ramp because
Right.
the natural location is a ramp. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, Eric, I'll let you. I
Like,
mean,
yeah, I feel like we talked more about like why did he make this choice, or why did he want this to like? There was a point where like there's lights in all the windows.
mhm.
I was like, why would he choose to put lights in the windows? Like, what is he? What's going on in his mind when we give him all of these things? And again, it's just that creative process. It's just like, well, no, here's the clay, go play and make a thing. And then when we got it back with me and Ricky, we're just like, you know what we should do? Like, we should let this influence us into
Mhm.
what is actually injected into the movie. And like we even did that when we first found the farm and was walking the location. It was just like, man, we had this scene that was kind of in this discombobulated area, you know, like in the way that we write scripts anyway. It's we kind of keep things very ambiguous because we're more concerned about how things get to when we get on stage when we're actually filming everything.
So
You know,
Eric,
so-
so me, Eric, and Gage wrote Run, and when we write a script, we are way more descriptive in the stage directions or in the prose to let the person who's reading the script feel like they're in the world, not like over promisorial of like it's got to be on a spaceship and like and it's in the future or it looks like this. It's like okay, I'm trying to get you into the vibe. Like that's what we're describing in the prose of the script, and that makes our scripts a little different and a little lengthier, but not with dialogue, but with more with like prose and feeling. And like Eric being a horror novelist, I think that's one of the things that has elevated our scripts to get people on board as far as like crew, actors, and other departments because they're like, oh, this was so enjoyable to read. I could see it. And it's like, great. Now,
now we got to execute.
yeah, now we got to execute it. But luckily, we do have the places like the farm where, like Eric was talking about when we visited. Three of the writers are also working on the film. Like me and Eric are producing the film. Gage is a cameraman, and visiting the location that we're going to be telling our story. It's like okay, like Eric was saying, originally this was going to take place here, but now because we have this barn that sets up like a wrestling ring, like in the middle of it, our final showdown is going to just be Rocky versus Drago, Freddy versus Jason in this barn. And Nick Hyance, our main DP, is looking at the already missing slats, like natural missing slats at the barn, and he's like, we filmed this at the golden hour like and the light is shining perfectly right through there. He's like, we don't need a lighting kit for this scene. He's like, we just any which way you can bare knuckle shoot this like this brawl. And sorry, the thing I'm describing is the spoiler. The movie ends with the OG Run, our character, who has to fight his 2.0. So think like Nick Castle, Mike Myers, if he had to fight Tyler Maine's Rob Zombie Halloween. Like Drago versus Rocky.
Okay.
That's where. So the company that
funny.
has corporatized slasher killing.
He's got a Rocky shirt on.
We got a Rocky.
I'm a little off brand.
It's
I beg
well,
your
another movie comparison because I've been using the Rocky movies to kind of like tell our outline of this movie because they use commercialization, success, you know, the rise, the fall very well. But another movie that kind of succinctly tells the story of Run is Robert Redford's The Natural, where it's all about a guy who just loves to do this thing. and then like he wants to be the best that he could possibly be and show off and see like, am I the best? I want to see if I can play major league. And you see the like odyssey, like uh just kind of travels he goes through to eventually showing off the corruption. Like I said, it's very biblical, the natural, and he gets to play the major leagues, and it's not as fulfilling as he wanted it to be, because then he sees a lot of the dark underbelly of it, and then he finds out he has a kid, and he's just like, oh, I thought playing the majors was the highest of doing the thing that I love. That's not it. It's doing it with my like my progeny. Like that is like passing it on and sharing that, like my knowledge and passing like what that means. That is the apex of my love of this thing that you've just now watched. Like I said, Odyssey like go through. I know that's very waxing poetic with film, but like that is what we are attempting with Run, and if that makes sense, that's why we're able to attack it at like kind of an indie filmmaking level for the kind of minimal budget that we think we can do this for.
Okay. All right. That sounds great.
Sorry.
No.
Like I asked one question and 35 minutes later.
Look, we've interviewed you before. We know how it goes. Yeah. I was like, prepare one question each. We'll be good for the hour and a half.
Yes.
So I read the synopsis, and I think it's totally interesting in that you're going from different genres of serial killer. You're kind of starting out, you kind of start out in the 70s and then go to the 80s, and you talked about the 90s, and then that we, because we did saw like that green glow of the 2000s, and it ends with torture porn. So
yeah, the hostel of it all. Yeah.
Right. I guess my question, like with your budget, how are you capturing like all of those different genres, and what are you doing to do that?
Movie magic.
All right.
Well, no. I think
that's a great idea. It's a fantastic idea.
You also talking about posters. You have an amazing poster behind you.
Yeah.
That's
actually what got me into wanting to do posters. I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, fuck. And I also have to scuba dive all the time. And actually, I dive with sharks all the time too.
Oh man, no thanks.
Talking about sequels before, and like part 2 is like Halloween 2. Regardless of what you think of the movie, that poster of the jack-o'-lantern with the skull, it's so fucking metal.
Yeah.
And the rest of it, like the marketing of it that says like all new, because they would like sequels weren't like as like a part 2, like what, like except for Godfather, they're just like, what is this? I saw it on, it's going to be on NBC. Like, is this Halloween? Are they putting it back in theaters? Like, no, all new Halloween 2. But anyway, to show the eras, one of the things at a cell phone level that I've been doing, and this connects with another fun thing about what we're doing with the movie, is if I'm ever creating content for promotion, and I've gotten Eric involved with this, I'm shooting like short little videos with my phone, or I'm making posters through like 7 different apps, basically like cut and pasting, kind of like what you would do with construction paper back in the day, and like scanning it in. So like recreating the Last House on the Left poster by just using some apps and shapes and coloring and filters and blah, blah, blah. The House by the Cemetery poster that we kind of recreated using Run, and the pictures that we had taken of the farm and the scythe. And that was when we knew we had Giovanni in the movie. But like the videos that I've been making, I've taken old things that we filmed and reappropriated them, like a short film we did called Tag, where Mike Flincham was in a very Giallo-inspired motorcycle outfit and with a yellow crowbar. So I re-edited that through the Splice app and turned it into kind of like a teaser trailer for a grindhouse Italian Giallo movie called Vespa Takes America. Mm-hmm. And then I did an exit interview where I had the costume, and I was like, all right, I'm going to write this script out. I'm going to film myself. I just got to move for a certain amount of time. I'm going to put it through Google Translator. It's going to pump it out with a good sounding Italian translation. That's going to be my audio, and I'm going to make this audio track that kind of feels like an Italian horror movie sound. And then I put that out. And so I'm trying to make a 70s giallo. And through all that, I'm testing how we can do these genres really just with this.
Yeah.
So I mean, because it's going to be fractions of the movie. I mean, that's kind of a montage or just pieces that we would dip our toes back into. So as long as we have a couple camera angles and we don't rely too heavily on After Effects of like grain and stuff, because I don't know if we talked about that for Sweetmeats. I hate the loop, the repeated loop that you can
Scratches
see.
of the VHS tape. Yeah.
Yes, or any of like that After Effects.
Very noticeable.
So one of
Yeah.
the things that I would never like pat myself on the back, but I know I did, was I made sure that you couldn't find a pattern if we used any like post like scratches or aging on that, because we obviously didn't shoot on film. But so for this, doing all of that giallo stuff in this character, I'm like, all right, well, this is going to be a character named Vespa. And they don't fall under the hack and slash American law of the Free to Kill You and Me Act. They're their own person in Italy who's just a giallo, classic giallo killer with a switchblade or whatever they find. But they don't get on a sexy motorcycle to get away after their kills. They hop on a tiny little Vespa, like, ching, 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 like, and go away. And I was like, all right, what would be cool for that character? And it was like on a Thursday night, like 3 months ago. And I was sitting and I was like, you know what? I still have Giovanni Fresa's number in my phone.
But
And
why?
he did like an MST3K show with us where we did Warriors of the Wasteland. We contacted him in Chicago. We hunted him down and found that he lived there while we were doing this show. And he came down with his sons and had a great time. But never talked to him since, over 10 years ago. So I was just like, I'm going to text him, just be like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. We're doing this thing. I see you haven't acted in 41 years. Here's what the expectations would be. Like, it's a pretty big character within the movie, but like your like actual on screen, like helmet off, like you portraying the character and doing a scene is really 1 day worth of shooting, which also includes like a melee in a bowling alley that he's part of. And he's just like, can't wait.
Nice.
But that was
But
it. That's all it took.
that's all it took. Yeah, he
know,
responded. He was like, I do remember. This sounds great. He's like, I've been.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you bowl, and
Anything,
it's
we had retweets from Edgar Wright, like the Duplass brothers, just by simply reaching out. You know, like it's the worst they can say is no. You
Right.
know, but a lot of the time it's just they see us obviously as independents, as small and you know trying to do a thing and just like. Man, I remember being there. Good luck, guys. And you're like,
Well,
you know,
so,
I've done it today.
to speak to your point of like one of the shorts that we did as promotion, primarily Hunter shot it himself with a Ring camera, and it was an idea for a character that appears in the movie called the Beater.
Right.
And it's just like, what is he the beater of? He has an egg beater, but he's also wearing a wife beater, and like, is he a woman beat? Like, I don't know if I like this 70s character. Yeah.
Same thing that
Yeah.
Rick and I have found ourselves doing over the past, you know, almost 35 years of being friends is like we're constantly going back into the Buffalo and reharvesting whatever we possibly be. So like he mentioned, we did a short film called Tag about a motorcycle clad, leather wearing, you know, jacket kind of guy. We're repurposing that now for the film. I mean, this idea I had for the serial killer short that I made, and Ricky was like, what are you going to do with that? I was like, I don't know. It's kind of creepy though, right? And then when we started talking about Run, I was like, fuck, this is just the Beater. Like, I'll just do this weird thing with the Beater, you know, like the Knitted Sun's coming back. And the shorts that Ricky kind of did for like an ARG. No, that's something else. I don't want that's
No. That it was.
Yeah,
No, I mean, you can blow the lid off it. It's not
But
like
it's all that
it was.
stuff,
It was
you know?
anonymous while we were doing it, but like what Eric's saying is, we have this trove of. I mean, it's not like we're going for the Marvel universe of just being like, and we have all of these slasher killers. Does
No,
anyone
it's
want to
just
buy
really
this movie? And you get this whole catalog of like The Conjuring and Annabelle and like all this. It's like, but honestly, like. We do because that's how we make things, and that's how I think we try to make the best thing at the limitations that we have is because we're infusing it with so much nerddom It's just like if you have a question about any one of these things,
I got you.
we're pretty like even if we don't have an answer, like Hunter and I will step aside, have a margarita, and be like, "All right, we got
This
the
is
answer
what it
now."
is.
Like this is
Nice. Okay, so where can people support this project?
Well, Ricky's taking a drink, so I'll go ahead and mention it. We are currently on seedandspark.com, hack and slash or run. On there, we're currently at 53% of our completion goal. We need a minimum of $12,500 to really kind of get this movie up and running, and we're at 7 something. Ricky, I'm sorry, I didn't look it up before.
we are at $8,275, but yeah, you're right. So the one thing about Seed and Spark that you don't see is there isn't an all or nothing aspect. There's a certain percentage, and it's 80%. So if we get another $4,125, we are greenlit. We get all the money that we raised, even if we don't get to $15,500 because we got 80% of it. They're kind of like, all right, pat on the back. We'll take our small fee. Yeah, you here you go. Make your
We got a lot of great perks. VHS copies of the movie. You get Blu-ray. You get a streaming link. You can pre-order your ticket because we're going to be showing it in theaters around Northern Kentucky and the Cincinnati area. You can get signed scripts from me, Ricky, and Gage, the 3 writers of the film.
Oh, you can include Gary Kroger and Giovanni Freza in that too. Now,
okay.
you both said straight up, no, I don't have time to sign scripts, and I was like, fair enough.
But there's
But he also said it in German, so it was way cooler and more threatening.
Right, a lot of hard consonants.
No, I had the audio message, so it's he's like 9 seconds. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I need Google Translate again.
But yeah, I mean, much like we did with Casually Cool, like we're really trying to embody what this genre is, what the birth of this genre was, and what it's come to be. And we're not, and we're trying to make like that real kind of low budget version of it. Like we make a joke just like, oh, we're gonna make the Northern Kentucky version of Rockford Files, and that ended up being Casually Cool. And like, we say we need $15,000 to make this movie, when we have to thank all the people who've already helped us, because it's going to take another $15,000 of favors, to really get this movie finished from start to finish, and to really engage the audience into what we're trying to make. But I mean, gosh, I think we got a really cool movie here. Like, I think the history that we've seen with recently with like the success of Backrooms and Obsession and Iron Lung and Shelby Oaks, like these very small independent YouTubers, which is kind of what we've always been, even back in the early days of 2005 when we made our first quote unquote feature film called Dead Woods, where Ricky wrote this amazing script that we threw out the day before, and we just
not amazing
the whole time.
Hunter found it recently and he gave it to me, and it's not amazing. Yeah.
There's a lot of fat jokes in it, which is strange. I don't know why there'd be so many fat jokes in it, but it's that same kind of enthusiasm. It's that same kind of uniqueness. Like, this isn't IP. This isn't Marvel. Like, Run is a guy who enjoys doing a thing that he liked, and a corporation came in and said, I can help you. I can make this better for you. And then all of a sudden we're looking at, the capitalization, everything, the advertising, the marketing. There's Run dolls, like it's that same idea of people watching the documentary of Ted Bundy on Netflix, and they're like, man, I feel bad for that guy. And I'm like, didn't he eat people? Why are you wearing a t-shirt that says free Ted Bundy? Like, it doesn't make any sense, but it's all just like, none of this stuff makes any sense anymore because of the capitalization and the consumerization of that. And we've made this script with Run that really flashes a light on that stuff and how it can mean to the person who's truly behind the art of it all.
And it's so true. Like, they have people in jail, or what, the Mangione kid, or all these people who do horrible things get all of these fans. It's insane.
It's wild.
I know. Like, how? Like, this isn't like, not a good person. Like, come on.
But to say something from the other night that we were discussing, me, Gage, and Eric, me and Eric are both 40 years old, as is Nick Hyance. Whoa, hey, calm. Hey. But Gage is 30 years old, and we were talking about the VHS of it all. Like that just idea of going in and wanting to be entertained, but also, yeah, the box art, reading descriptions of movies, like the movie The Gate, yeah, The Gate 1 and Part 2. I remember my brother and I being like, we don't know these movies. There's only 2 of them. Like everything else has like 8 movies. Like let's get these 2. And I was like, they look pretty cool, and it's like Satanic Panic. Like, all right, cool, loved them. But Gage, we were like, all right, where are you in the VHS of it all, the video store, like that community? And he's like, you know what? I remember doing it. And he's like, I still have a fondness for it. But he's like, I'll tell you, people who are like 5 years younger than me, like 25, he's like, they don't, that's not a thing at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was like, that's interesting. I was like, I think this movie is a lot of that too. And I know that like tightens the margins a little bit of like who would like it, but like, I think it feels that way of just like,
there's a nostalgia to it all.
Yeah, without being like, oh, do you get this? Or do you like, is this a reference you understand? It's just like, no, it's just the background of like Eric was saying of like, our character goes through the Rocky 3 of like Eye of the Tiger, where like Freddy Krueger for 87 and 88, like you guys had Dream Warriors featured in your opening. There's, rock songs, there's rap songs, there's music videos, there's TV shows, there's there's pull string dolls for kids, there's pajamas, like there's games. Matchbox, there's multiple video games. There's a different video game for your PC than there is for your Nintendo console. Like it's the commercialization is insane, and we're just like, oh, what if that was for like a sports figure, for like a dude? And then after he screws the pooch in the 90s, like we talked about, like that straight to video, then Scream, like, oh, you got to become, like, what happens to the Nick Castle Michael Myers that has to become verbal and is given lines? And they're just like,
I have an Instagram feed now. I have to post updates.
Yeah.
If you're not,
but like, again,
these reviews, my guy, the algorithm and
the U-Bowl of it all, and the colorization of the torture porn of like the Texas Chainsaw reboot and all that it's so kismet, because Hyance, I remember going and seeing House of the Dead when we were in high school. It was like our senior year, and I was just like, whoa, how was that? I was like, it's a video game, right? And he's just like, man, not a good movie, but what a great popcorn flick.
Or then you get to Hostel and people are like, whoa, this turns people on now? People are paying to this and masturbating to it? What's happening?
It does that thing that horror did so well, that's during Guantanamo, and like it's holding up a mirror to like what's going on.
What's going on.
Yeah, in culture. And so
man with the police brutality.
Yeah, to use that as our landscape of just being like, well, okay, we do know what that's like, because we do have a fine line between like true crime, and we see like how we talked about people sensationalize that. I mean, fucking Manson.
Right.
Yep.
What a weird little dude who like, who knows? Like he maybe killed a pimp and was abusive to some girls, but who knows like to what machinations of an evil mind he was.
But then there's always minds that are just going to follow right, I mean, it's crazy. Like some people are going to follow a cult leader and some are not.
Yep.
Which is nutty.
Well, but then we have those cults of the
personality. I agree.
Well, no, I was going to say that the pyramid schemes. The where the housewives,
corporations, man. That's
right, but that's cults as well, like of just being like buy into this LLM of like like, hey, housewives, order these clothes and sell these. And
there was a hot minute there where we had a fancy little coffee shop in town that it was a $10 coffee.
Oh yeah.
You want to try a $10 coffee? I was like, absolutely. You know what? That tasted great. Well, shit, you want to go back and get another $10 coffee? It's just another cult. Like, that's all it is. Like,
oh, yeah. And then it turned out that cult wasn't paying his employees. But yeah,
yeah, he ends up being a piece of shit. But
yeah,
again, corporations.
What did we, Jay had a podcast, A Break of Sanity, and didn't we called some princes, or what was that scam that we did?
Oh yeah.
Nigerian prince.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I also have a comedy podcast, and we try and when we get a scam email, we try and get them on the phone, and it was one of those
amazing.
Nigerian prince things, and our thing is we try and
It was one of those Nigerian prince things. The fact that we all synonymously
exactly
are
that.
just like,
Yep.
yeah, it's one of those Nigerian prince
Oh,
things.
those guys.
Yeah.
What we found out is that there is no limit to what they will put up with if they think they're getting money, because we told them we were astronauts, and one of us was an attorney, and we want to know if we could sign our documents in space. And there's like, yes, yeah, they're saying yes to like literally everything. And
That's amazing.
my favorite line was from Peter, because he's trying to hype us up, and he's like, if you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you go? Without skipping a beat, Peter goes, Vermont. And
Guys, like, I can make that happen. Like, you're my guy.
Hey, Gary Kroger from Vermont. He lives in Vermont right now.
Lucky guy. Peter's life goal.
Kind of my dream. Although, of course, I've lived in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and Connecticut, but not Vermont.
I was gonna say, every time you get to cross the border, they're like, "Hey, sorry."
Hey, we're getting a little less Canadian.
Yeah, this isn't for you, sir.
Yeah.
Get out of our state.
This isn't for you. Oh, hey, you look real white bread. It's about to get a little bit more.
Yeah, go back to Maine, asshole.
So I was looking at the perks for this too, and you got some really cool ones in here. Name a slasher, get killed on screen, be a masked slasher. Yeah, I encourage everyone to go to Seed and Spark and check that out, because you got some really fun ones on here, which, a lot of times it's just an autograph or whatever, but these are really like interactive. So
Yeah, me and Ricky have been. Anytime we've done any of these crowdsourcing campaigns or anything like that, it's always that idea of like whatever money we get, it goes right on the screen. So like even when it comes to the incentives, it's just like you literally are adding to the movie. Like when we were doing the Kickstarter for Sweetmeats, and getting killed on screen, like then we had different like levels where it was just like, is it just you and you're getting bacons cut off your back, or you get your tongue ripped out, like, and again, it's that idea of just adding more to the movie, making it feel fuller, making it feel more real. It's not just a DVD, it's not just a signature.
Well, and like it's lucky being everybody being at this small of a level has its advantages.
Speak for yourself.
Like there's a local driving school company that's like, hey, we might want to be featured in the movie, our driving school. And I was like, okay. I was like, the way that I can
hard to run over somebody, or
well, so I was like, already like one of the writers and the director of the movie. I'm like, all right, how would this narratively be used? Could we use it? And it's not being just like a Snapple commercial, like just in the middle of the show. I was like, wow, man, holy shit. If Run already is working for like Schnellwell, which is our world's like DoorDash Uber. I was like, his day job he could be a driving teacher for teenagers, which would be hilarious, because then he'd just be helping people learn how to drive and escape who he primarily killed,
because that's
when he was an active killer. Yeah, and I was just like, holy shit. I was just like, yeah. I was like, I reached out to our executive producer, Amy Hasbrock. I was like, ask this local driving school in Alexandria, Kentucky. I was like, ask them if we could have access to a car full time during shoot, because then that would become Run's car. And then he would always he'd have to take off like the driving school light that like sits on top and like put it in the trunk.
Light.
that's
Yeah,
funny.
and then
I
put
like
the
that.
Schnell. Like, I'm just like, all right, this is great. We can already justify this is something we were going to do anyway, vibe wise, because we had that in the script. But now we can amend the puzzle and be specific of just like, all right, when we wrote, it's a montage of different deliveries, odd jobs, or whatever. It's like, okay, now that is, we scratch that out because now it's this.
It's the same thing we did with Giovanni when we found out we could get him on board.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, well, we have this Vespa character, and I literally think in the script it just says Vespa walks in, sits down at the bar, and orders a $1 beer. And then when we realized it could be Vespa, or it could be Giovanni as Vespa, I was like, how do we make this sexy now? And it's just like, well, maybe we just take time with him walking in. We show him taking the gloves off. We show, like, and it's just we want all of it on screen. We want everything.
Well, and
we want it on screen.
We even go nerdier of where we're like, okay, what if Run has like magazines on the rural farm of Kentucky, and it's like his version of hidden porn, and it's Italian giallo magazine spotlighting like Sports Illustrated, but it's Bob Vespa, the the giallo killer, and it's just like, ooh, like what has he gotten into this week? Like, is he painting the town red? And like Run's just like, oh, I fucking love it. Like he's not controlled by any government, no corporation. He has a sweet ride.
He's living the life, man. He's living the life.
Runs on the farm on a tractor. And it's just like, one day, man, one day I'll have my Paris. And so Vespa's his white horse. And so then when Giovanni comes in, it's just like, oh,
we always talked about this.
This is how we use this.
Kind of here. Yeah.
Yeah. And it becomes that thing of just like, while Run is learning, when he's circling back at the end of the second act of just like, well, what makes who I am? Like, what's going to make me happy in this midlife crisis of like, I can't keep living in the monotony of life. I need to do what I love, but I don't want to work for this corporation. He's just like, oh, fuck it. He's like, I'll just do it like I started. I'll just start killing people and just like see how the shit, like how shit lays out. And so having that and then incorporating Giovanni at that apex scene at the bowling alley where Giovanni comes in and they finally like he takes off the motorcycle helmet, and Giovanni, if you saw him as a kid in House by a Cemetery, Warriors of the Wasteland / New Barbarians, anything that he was in, Manhattan Baby for Fulci or Demons, he looks like the adult version of that Macaulay Culkin kid. Like he has these piercing blue eyes. We posted a video, his smile, and
Ricky is rock hard.
I'm just excited because like it turns into our version of it's also us elevating ourselves as filmmakers, of challenging ourselves. It's a Raid like level Daredevil on Netflix, like old boy long runner shot of Vespa and Run, played by Andrew Thorpe, just going throughout the bowling alley, just like killing all these hillbillies who just don't follow the rules and the ethics of like a horror movie. Right? They're just pieces of shit. And so it gets Run to the point where he's just like, I don't even care if I'm licensed anymore. I'm going to do the thing that I know how to do very well and that I love. And so he's very smart, even though his body is giving out in different ways. And then him and Giovanni as Bob Vespa just going through that bowling alley, like taking bowling balls and just like smashing people's heads like grapes.
I'm in.
Yeah, like that's what this scene is, and it might go into a slow motion, like operatic, like dun 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 dun, dun like cymbals, like. But that's what then kicks us off to the end of the movie, which is Run being like, "All right, I got my nut back," like. I'm ready to do the final Rocky fight, except he doesn't know it's against his bigger, stronger, dumber version, which is, like I said, Lord Crew, who's the wrestler, Sean Stewart playing Run 2.0. He has this giant, like, anthrax beard, like the guy from Anthrax. Like, and so he's going to wear the Run. Yeah, he's going to wear the Run costume. But it's gonna be like when you put a costume on a kid and it's like store bought and it like has the fake muscles. It's the exact opposite of that. Like you just drape this like lycra on him and he's just like this hulking like.
I think you need to do a sequel where the Run character is like pushing 90, and maybe the Run 2.0 is his age, and maybe it starts it.
They reconnect.
Your idea.
Hey, go look. Don't. I will do a going in style like George Burns movie. Like I will.
I want to see a 90-year-old serial killer.
My idea, and I think they made it with Pete Davidson, even though I hadn't heard much about it, was I was like, oh, they should make a movie called Scram, where it's Scream, where it's Sydney and Gail, and they're in an old folks home, and it's not a high school anymore; it's the old folks home, right? And like it's all the politics of that, and like you can just redo Scream. It's just called Scram.
It's like 7 hours long, and like there's an hour dinner scene at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. It's just pudding. Yeah, you just like 20 minutes of people eating and like dribbling pudding.
And like 20 minutes to do it.
And they're complaining about the food, so that someone has to get involved and come over.
The Ghostface killer.
Jello.
The Ghostface killer had a cardiac arrest while hiding in the closet, and so they actually didn't kill anybody beyond the first person. So no other kills have happened. Yeah, well, yeah. Through poor life choice. Well, I mean, through wearing all of that garb and being in a closet for hours.
Just want to play
Canasta.
Yeah, did you guys see? You guys didn't happen to see The Rule of Jenny Penn, did you? With John Lithgow.
No,
I didn't, but I'm aware of it because I am a Lithgow fan, even going to like World According to Garp.
Well, that was kind of like a serial killer in a old folks home movie.
Yes, and he has a doll, right?
Yeah, right.
Yes, yeah. I watched the trailer. It's I like Lithgow.
Yeah, that got some pretty good praise when it came out.
It was. I enjoyed it.
I didn't know what it was about, but it did get a lot of good buzz. People liked it.
Yeah, I want to see part of Scram where he keeps getting in his Ghostface outfit and then he needs a nap and he keeps missing his kill because he's too tired.
All tuckered out. Yeah, but he has the voice changer on, so it's like his snoring is like, but it's like,
and he has to be in a walker the entire movie.
Yes, I will say, like I was
with an oxygen tank.
I was approached by Fandango to do promotion for Scary Movie 6, and I was able to give out like free tickets. And I was like, how can I use this in a way that like we can promote our Seed and Spark? I was like,
well, so you mentioned it before about us taking old movie posters and turning them into Run posters. And
we don't know who ripped off
Ricky
who.
sent me this message. He was like, I just got contacted by Fandango to support a Scary Movie. And I was like, oh, they must have saw our posters, stole our idea, and used Scary Movie characters in like, common horror movies. And they're just like, oh shit, he may have figured out that we stole his idea. Let's give him some free tickets. Maybe that'll quiet him down.
So the only one that would maybe be that is, and I would have to look and see who did it first. And also, I mean, whatever.
Who cares? Yeah.
Great minds think alike. Is the Backrooms poster that we did for Run, where we put the character of Run like peeking around the corner of Backrooms, and like right around they had their ghost face for Scary Movie, like doing that. But anyway, like going and seeing Scary Movie, we had free tickets, my wife and I, because of the Fandango thing. The hardest part of that date night was then leaving the theater and seeing that Backrooms and Obsession were playing on both sides of us, and we're just like, we could have just bought tickets and seen a better movie.
I can't say that I'm a fan of any of the Scary Movie movies. Well,
I haven't seen the first two in a long time, but I loved them when I was a kid.
Yeah, I like comedies, or I'm not a big fan of horror comedies personally.
Oh no! And you like Sweetmeats?
I did. I did because it actually was a comedy.
Funny.
Yes.
And then
Because it's
like
not
horror
funny.
comedies because it was
not
fun.
scary. Yeah, because you're right. It's not scary. There's nothing scary. I mean, when people jump at like All Your Friends Are Dead, we were at our premiere at the Esquire. We had two premieres. We had graciously a premiere that we could invite a cast, crew, family, whatever, where nobody paid for their tickets. They got to see it at a movie theater. It was awesome. Then they gave us a second premiere that was open tickets to the public, and we split we split the profits, and it sold out. And a majority of people were people that Nick and I didn't know, or the cast didn't know. It was just people were just like, yeah, we'll come see a movie.
It's a Thursday night.
Thursday night in Cincinnati near UC, and we watched people squirm at like just the implications of horror. Of like someone getting their throat slit or something broken or something whatever, and like people would just be like, oh no, and we were just like,
Up the bourbon.
really, we're like, really, like that, like just that does it. We're like, huh, I wonder if we can juxtapose, like, again, that between something that is earnestly relatable and comedic. Like, can we do this roller coaster of just like within that genre without like parody, without I think the number one question is like, how scary is Run gonna be? Run's gonna be as scary as like Freddy versus Jason.
Yes.
Like, you're gonna want to see all of the appreciation of the horror genre, especially slashers, from like Texas Chainsaw in '74 to like 2008 Michael Bay, like Platinum Dunes reboot, sequels, remakes. But the movie's going to end, and Gage's number one thing, other writer, basically creator of the initial idea of the script, is he's looking forward to hearing people get on the side of Run, who's the protagonist, who is a killer. Like, he is, with one of the rules while we were writing the script was, we don't want to have it explained like why he is a killer, right? That's Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Right.
It
And
was
for a long time they explained it.
That was Peter's big gripe on that one.
That was my big thing. I was like, I don't
for
need
30
to-
minutes.
Yeah.
The only originality in that movie is him explaining the monster, which not to like jerk off like John Carpenter, who's also from Kentucky, but like the OG starts off with that great POV, and then the Michael, and they take the mask off this kid who seems almost as shocked and catatonic as someone who doesn't understand or know why they did what they did, leaving people being like, oh man, what is this movie about?
Yeah,
and then he's
and became popular, so we had to put podcasters in the movie. Ricky, come on.
Oh, I mean, you're talking about the David Gordon Green.
I was just saying, like, I don't need to know. I don't need a 25-minute story about how he gets off by murdering animals. You know, I don't want to know that about Michael Myers.
Exactly. So, like, even Eric and like I and Gage, we overwrote the movie, and then we were like, all right, that might be the answer to this, but we're going to take that out, because even though we watched this character exist and evolve, this is the first time you're seeing this character. And like, I don't want to explain the mask. I don't want to explain why he's a psychopath. Like, I don't like
the answers, but you're gonna feel it. It's, again, it goes back to that vibe part of it, where it's just like, he's gonna do something very specific, and we're gonna show a point of that. And as an audience member, you're gonna be like, oh, well, that's interesting. And then when you see it kind of related again 60 minutes later, you're like, oh, that's
but
why.
It literally comes from the staging of, like, in the script we had written, Run ends his day by going up and taking some tea up to the attic window or a second story window where he can look out and watch the sunset. Now, the location where we're filming is happens to be that the sun is setting right at the window, but it's also the barn. It looks out into the barn where he's been killing everybody. Yeah. And so in the script there are chairs, and sitting in two of the chairs are mummified, like Mrs. Bates like bodies, but it's like American Gothic. And then he sits down and he enjoys his tea, and the sun sets. That's how this opening montage ends. And we get to the location and we're walking through, and I was just like, oh, this is great. This works out perfect. It actually faces the barn. The sun comes here during this perfect hour. This is going to be great for no money. And I was like, but you know what? I don't think it would look good having 3 rocking chairs just like in this frame. And Hunter was just like, there aren't 3 rocking chairs. And I was like, what do you mean? He's just like, this is the benefit of having all the writers there. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you have 2 rocking chairs. He comes up with his nighttime tea, and you have his parents basically, presumably his parents, American Gothic mummified Mrs. Bates sitting in the rocking chairs, and then he sits in between them on the floor, crisscross applesauce, sipping his tea, just like making him so small after we've seen him just brutally murder so many people in the opening 10 minutes. And it just shows like how he's a boy. Like his rituals in this, you don't have to say anything, you don't have to have any voiceover. It's just little simple things like that. And I was just like, yes. I was just like, yes, that is exactly what this is. That's how that looks. This will be perfect coda to getting you on board with this character who by the end you're really going to want to kill the Rob Zombie Michael Myers. Yeah. The Drago. Right. You're going to want to see Rocky beat Russia.
Mm-hmm. I
Can't
like
wait
that.
to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should support our Seed and Spark. This movie.
Can you get me on a dead poster? Wanted.
So
Yeah. Missing Dead.
So I will put all the
We're really
links.
good at that.
I'll put all the links to support this project down in the show notes in the description wherever you're watching this. I guess we're running out of time, but Frank, I think you had a question.
Just what movies are you looking forward to coming up? Horror movies, and what have you been watching lately in the newer horror realm?
Saw a Scary Movie, not great. Saw Obsession, loved it. Loved Obsession. I'm a big Curry Barker fan, even from back with The Chair and Warnings and Milk and Cereal. He's got such a very distinct style, and it's funny. Me and Ricky were talking about the movie, and he was just like, "What do you think people will be talking about Obsession in 20 years? Like they were talking about Halloween in 20 years?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." They're going to want to know what Curry Barker's doing because that's what matters. It's the creator, not the film that he's created. When John Carpenter's Halloween came out, like there really wasn't, like nobody seemed to know how to communicate about what was behind it because the movie itself was such a spectacle, like it was a roller coaster ride where I think with the internet and everything now. So I'm excited for anything that he comes out, these new Evil Dead movies look interesting to me. I'm going to watch them regardless. But I'm also a big Tubi and Pluto TV fan. So anytime I'm looking for something to watch, and I just watched a movie called X-Ray, which I think is called Halloween Massacre in America. And it's
Why? Wait, why is it X-Ray and then Halloween Massacre?
I have no idea. I think it was just something anyway.
Yeah.
But it was a very good Dr. Giggles kind of storyline, lot of nudity, 81 or 83, and I was just like, man, this is just a really solid movie. And I try to be that proponent of I like Halloween and like Friday the 13th. I was like, you should check out the Ice Cream Man. It's not bad, So I'm just kind of excited about, I guess, just whatever comes my way, I guess.
Nice.
Eric is way better at that than I am. Maybe because
so he can't watch it.
Well, no, it might be because his kids are. Well, I mean, you have one young one, but with having the twins, it's really hard to ingest many new horrors because I also want to watch something all the way through. Where if I'm watching it with my wife, I'm like, hey, we're going to watch this new thing, not a Real Housewife or whatever.
Not garbage TV.
Yeah. Or no, we have been watching 4 seasons on Netflix, the first season, which is fantastic.
Actually, can you turn a Housewives into a horror movie? That would be pretty good.
Oh, easy. When we were watching
Please do that.
When we were watching the baking shows, I had a menu cube level baking show horror movie idea that producer of ours, Chris Morris, also wears many hats, actor in our films, was just like, oh my God, we got to make that holiday baking show cannibal movie that you pitch, because it would just be an episode of that. But anyway, Scary Movie 6 I watched. God, I'm trying to think of something that I saw that was good or kind of new-ish in horror.
So definitely not a recommendation for Scary Movie 6.
I will say this: we saw it in Kissimmee, Florida, while we were on vacation going to Disney, and me and my wife Allie had a date night.
More.
Well, I'm saying like the situation of just like we had a date night where the grandparents watched the kids. I had the free tickets. We went to the local theater, which I think was an urban theater, and that was probably the best way to see it because I was worried. I had seen clips where people were like, "No one's laughing," and I'm just like, "That's impossible." Now, go and see the movie with a black crowd, and they're laughing at stuff that me and my wife, who are middle-aged white people who live in northern Kentucky, like there's stuff that we didn't understand. It was that Mystery Science Theater thing of like the audience was laughing at stuff in the opening, and we were just like, "Huh, huh, that must be something we're not aware of, honey." Oh, that's our popcorn. Extra butter, right? And so, but then there were things that like I was laughing at, like Dave Sheridan as Doofy, as un-PC as that is.
He's very good in that role.
He's very good, and the interesting thing the movie does is the primary plot that they use is Scream 5, which so the first one is Scream OG. This is Scream 5 is their main plot. They may dip into Jamie Lee Curtis from the Halloween franchise. They may dip into some other horror movies that are hot, but Scream 5 is the main plot, even down to spoiler, Doofy getting Deweyed. And
loved it.
The main issues I had with the movie was I don't like Scream 5. Where like in Scary Movie, I really like Scream.
Honestly, I think that's the issue with the movie. It's movies that just aren't good. You know, like it's funny. Like they even poke fun at the idea. They're like, "Hey, welcome to the third act." And they're like, "What the fuck does that mean?" They're like, like when the shit really happens. Like, yeah, that actually happened in a Scream movie that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. What a stupid line, right? And I was like, oh, here's the movie. We're making fun of all the movies that are bad now. And it's like, oh, you kind of missed the mark because they just didn't really pay attention to that. And the other problem with me, again, being a middle-aged white guy, when the K-pop Demon Hunter thing came on, I was like,
"Oh, I loved it!
Is this?"
I was dying."
No idea.
So Allie and I, who have a 7-year-old daughter, are just like, "Oh, this is fit." Like we were howling.
Yes.
But again,
7-year-old daughter, not your love for show tunes. Whatever you say, Ricky.
Oh no, yeah, I would love it. I would love Golden.
Did you see anything that you liked though?
Yeah, 4 seasons on Netflix, but Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Atlanta,
Girls, terrifying.
Yeah, sorry. I wish I had a better answer. I just give me some time to hang out with my dad one-on-one, and he will put forward a weird like foreign movie, and he's just like, "Hey, we're gonna watch this tonight because no one else in the family will watch this with me."
We say that, but we watch just Tubi all the time when we talk about what we watch.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
90% of shit is Tubi.
Tubi. Yeah. Sorry, it's a TV show, but I don't think it's well known enough. In its entirety on Tubi is a TV show after the A-Team ended. It's a syndicated show starring Mr. T called TNT.
This is not a horror show.
It's not horror, but
I'm listening.
I recommend if you were ever like, man, I wish they would have built a show around Mr. T just being Mr. T. This show did it. It starts off, he's an ex.
Law and Order.
I mean, honestly, it's procedural too, which makes it even sweeter and more digestible. I have my criticisms, but I'm not going to say that while I'm selling it. The first season, so it opens with a theme song montage where they're just like,
"This is Mr. T who's coming down the way. Who's a lawyer." It really is.
It's like John Thibodeau, whatever. That's why they can call him T. It could be TNT. And he's like, no, he is an ex-heavyweight fighter who got wrongfully accused of killing his opponent during a match and whatever, and was going to be sent to prison, but his public attorney, who also has a T name, got him off, and she said, "Hey, I'm looking for a private eye for some tough cases. Maybe you could join my firm. And together, they are TNT. And it's just like, holy shit, this is exactly like, I was like, Mr. T was underutilized. And it's like, apparently for 3 seasons on a syndicated show, he was fully utilized. And then I watched it and I was like, all right, there is some gems in here.
It seems weird the entire plot of the movie is the first letter of their name.
It's so good. But that, I mean, that's television, right? Like, yeah, whatever gimmick. Yeah.
Okay, well, they're Smurfs,
Sorry.
but they're underwater.
That's my recommendation. Like, if you don't watch anything
Done.
beyond the first episode of TNT,
Yeah.
I do think the two-parter of the second season, where cousin Oliver, they inherit a kid, but he's from a white supremacist rally. Oh my God, Mr. T having to face racism, so good.
All right, for the next interview, I'm going to do my research and watch TNT.
Oh, I will. And then when you watch it,
think I
I will
have
come
to.
on for a watch-along podcast.
It'll be 3 hours long.
I would so do that. I'm intrigued.
I watched Norman's Corner, which is a Gilbert Godfrey show that I think got canceled after one episode.
That sounds familiar.
He works at a newsstand and he just like makes fun of everybody who buys a newspaper from him.
He's just Don Rickling it
Yeah.
for a half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this guy.
Yes.
I don't even think they had a script. I think they just had people walk up to the newsstand and he
that's
just
amazing.
started. Yeah, it was pretty
Was
good.
it on Fox?
No, those are YouTubers now. That's all that is streaming.
Right.
It's live streamers. That's all they're doing.
I think it was on Fox. I'm not positive.
It's got to be
It
Fox.
sounds
They
like a
did.
Fox show from
Yeah.
the 90s.
Yeah,
Early
yeah.
90s.
Well, like John Leguizamo,
Oh, yeah.
doing his one-man show, which they turned into like a Fox like late night, like After in Living Color. So,
Yeah, like
so
Saturday Night
again,
Live.
scary movie. Like, I am genuinely a fan of the Wayans brothers. Like the whole clan, like the whole cult of Wayans, like Keenan Ivory to Damon to Mark. Like, in Living Color was just as influential to us in weirdly like Northern Kentucky as it was like I think anywhere else, where we didn't see it as a challenger of SNL. We saw it more as the thing before Star Trek: The Next Generation aired.
Just more
like,
entertainment.
yeah, it was just like, oh, there's one white guy. Like, this is different. Like, this is great.
I think we're about out of time, but do you guys have anything else you
Why?
want to, any other?
Well, I mean, you guys so much. Again, the support has been great. We need just a little bit more to kind of push us to the finish line. We're very excited about this movie. We really think that we're on the precipice of creating something great that, you know, even in its small sense, like much like Sweetmeats, there's going to be something for everybody. You know, one of the big things that me and Ricky have always been tied on is that we're out here. We want to create entertainment. We want to see things that we want to watch. You know, Sweetmeats was that. All Your Friends Were Dead was that. Casually Cool was definitely that. This movie is just that more, you know, maybe not so much of a love letter to the genre, but just that idea that there's still so many more stories to tell, specifically within the horror genre and how it reflects our everyday life, you know. And we would just love your support in any facet way, even just a retweet or a comment or hey, I saw this cool thing. You guys should check out this video. Like any of that stuff is that's what we're looking for.
All right. And do you guys have any other projects that you want to plug other than Run, or are you just focused on Run?
Hunter.
We are focused on Run. Thanks for
No. What do you got? Come on. This is the opportunity.
I'm an author. I've got
Yeah.
primarily horror novels. I'm writing a series right now called Grave Garden. It's essentially if you take Goosebumps, if it was written by Eli Roth. So there's a lot of body horror. There's a lot of just parents not believing the kids. You know, it's set in the middle of the 90s in a very small town that could be a northern Kentucky small town.
Like a Wes Craven meets David Cronenberg.
Yes. So the first book in the series is called All That in a Bag of Chip. It's like my invasion of the body snatchers. The next book that'll be out by the end of the year is called You Ought to Know About the Woods. It's my Bigfoot story. But yeah, You can check those out, ericmhunter.com.
All right, I'll link that as well. I want to thank you guys. It's always a pleasure having you, Ricky, and
Thank you.
Eric. It was very, very great meeting you, and yeah, always a good time. So Run sounds awesome, and honestly, everybody support this project because I really
Wait,
want to see this
what was
movie.
your guys' like unanimous least favorite Nightmare on Elm Street? Now that like, because
Jesus
I thought it was gonna come up like
Part two.
oh, except for Frank. Oh my god,
Frank loves it.
Wait, even over Freddy's.
I'm here,
What
but
about
I don't know where my
Freddy's
video went.
Dead?
No, Freddy's Dead has to be last. Yeah.
I haven't
part
seen. Is that the
two.
one with Roseanne Barr?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Arnold.
Okay.
And I
haven't
love
seen
Freddy's
a lot
Dead,
of the last
but,
few.
yeah.
1 through 5, I'm very familiar with. The other few, not so much. The remake sucked. Can we all agree on that?
I didn't see the
Yeah.
remake.
Except for Frank.
I didn't see the remake.
It wasn't good, but like it all. I don't know. Like the Pied Piper stuff. Like there was a good, interesting movie in there that felt like it was unfortunately like you know how a lot of scripts in the '90s were written as Die Hard movies. But then
Yeah,
became
it's
like
Die
Sudden
Hard
Death
or
or
Die
Speed
Hard.
or
Yeah.
like that. Like that's what Elm Street felt like was they took a script that they were like, oh, this is an interesting like Babadook level like horror movie, and they were like, well, what if we made it Freddy? Could we get it greenlit and we do 2/3 recreation scenes of Wes Craven's like practical stuff that look really bad CGI? Like
And then Freddy Krueger looked like a burnt Cinnabon. I mean,
Yeah. They really leaned into the
Yeah.
realism.
yeah,
Yeah,
stupid.
the Christopher, yeah, which also is like the examination of at that time Christopher Nolan and like, but again, this happens all the time. This isn't anything new. With Tim Burton doing Batman in the 80s after Frank Miller, they were like, oh, he's making Batman realistic and gritty. Holy shit. You go back and watch Tim Burton's Batman. There is
close.
nothing there's nothing realistic like or gritty.
Literal
Like
clowns.
it's a comic book. Like it's fucking comic book. Like it's Art Deco and like whatever. Like but so Nolan was pegged as the one who made Batman realistic. Like that was the whole marketing with Batman Begins of like it's realistic. It's like what if Batman really existed in our worlds and it was Wall Street and it was blah 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 and all this. It's just like okay, do we need it to be realistic? Like what is the world? Like what are the rules? So like
Why
Elm
would
Street.
you see Batman's parents die again?
Well, I honestly, I mean, yes, I want to see more Batman selfishly, like Star Wars, until it lets me down and then I pivot. But like with horror, do I need to see more Scream movies? Yeah. And then I will put them up against the college bracket of being like, well, okay, where in the pile of shit does that fit? Like, is that better than 3? Is it better than 5 and 6? Like, I'm an apologist for 7. Like, it's franchises have just now become like I've compared them to the Star Wars movies of just like where do they fit, and so I don't do it as much.
Universe now because that's the marketing.
Well,
That's
you
the
do
advertising. Those are the clicks.
you do it more than I do. Is giving some love to original things that may just like scratch that nostalgia center, rather than being like, let's fund a fan film or let's
Oh, sure.
put all of our time and energy on. I mean, I think it's shown in the box office. Mandalorian and Grogu, like compared to Obsession and Backrooms, how is that doing?
Not well.
Yeah.
So the remake's the worst. Thanks, Ricky.
Yeah. Bye.
I didn't watch.
I say Freddy's Dead, but that's just.
Freddy's Dead, I think, is my worst.
But
I'm
I
kind
also
of an-
still,
I'm kind of
I
an
also still
apologist
love
for-
it.
I'm kind of an apologist for the remake.
I love Freddy's Dead because there was an innovative comic series that was released at the time, done by Andy. Can't think of his last name. That continued. That told some of the prequel story that they did in the Toby Hooper No More Mr. Nice Guy TV pilot for Freddy's Nightmares, where the daughter and the other girl who lives go around and she starts flashing back to memories of being like, wait, how did he become Freddy? And then if you read that and then you read the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash comic book, it ties everything together. So if you're an Elm Street nerd, that's your way to get your fix of continuing characters like Alice Johnson or Catherine Kruger, and I think Tommy Jarvis appear. Yeah, Tommy Jarvis definitely appears. I'm not sure which version, if it's the Jason Lives or if it's the Corey Feldman version in Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
That's wild.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
That's very cool.
All right.
Nice.
So, yeah, thanks again for joining us, and hope to have you on again when you guys seem to come out with a new movie like every 6 months. So,
hey, we will come back after you guys get to watch Run and see your missing persons credits, and like we'll hear like, okay, this is how auspicious you guys were before you made the thing. Now let's hold your feet to the fire of like,
what you feel about this.
yeah, and then be like, okay, yeah, you talked about these themes and these things that you wanted to do. Now let's evaluate how close did you get to the mark.
yeah, that sounds great.
I would love
Yeah,
to.
that's a
I mean,
good
I
idea.
love Sweetmeats. I thought it was really, really funny, and I'm looking forward to this as well.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you guys so much.
And
Yeah.
well, there's actually a clip of Sweetmeats in our Hatchet episode if you want to check that
that's
out.
right. Yeah.
So,
Everybody loves pizza.
yes.
Everybody loves pizza.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.
This is the end. Say goodbye. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Everybody.
Wow. What an eclectic mix of music.
Yeah. I'm so used to hearing it at this point. I don't. Yeah, I take a step back and appreciate it.
Man.
Oh, it's so good.
And
I
think
love
I
it
knew
because
like 90% of them. That's amazing.
well, that's the game, right? Like if you did that at a bar and like you don't have to go home, but you can't fucking stay here. You play that, and everyone's just like, "Yay! Oh, what's that one? I don't." Again, that's that MST T3K one. It's like, "Oh, what was that one? I don't know that." It's like, "Oh, let me. It's this one."
Look it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it so much.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much. All right. You guys have a wonderful night.
You too. Have a good one.